What's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy, man, Jake Willie Silly, man, aka Mr. Take It Easy before you end up like Beezy. And make sure y'all follow my Twitch, man. I know y'all is, you know what I'm saying? Y'all kind of disappointed. I started off on a good streak, but I'm telling y'all, bro, we're going to be back on Twitch tomorrow. So make sure. And the one thing I got to say, man, I appreciate y'all for showing her love, man. You know, she a very important person to me. You feel me? You know, so see y'all actually messing with her, man. You know what I'm saying? That right there, man, that's good, man. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate the love that y'all showing her, man. You know, and like I said, watch her content, man. You know, she got some good content over there for surely. You know what I mean? But make sure y'all follow the Twitch, subscribe to the second channel. We will be back live on Twitch tomorrow, and we will start uploading on the second channel immediately. I mean, immediately. You know what I mean? We got the man who exposed the CIA's darkest secrets. You know, if y'all want to go find videos like these right here, it is in a playlist section called True Stories Reactions. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I've heard a lot of dirty things about the CIA, man. You know, and you know, and just talking about the government. You know, the government shut down. You know, my auntie just lost her freaking job, bro. You know what I'm saying? The government shut down. That right there has been going on for 36 days. You know, it's a record breaking. You know, so a lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people going without pay. You know, but, you know, one thing about me, I don't trust nothing government. I'm going to just keep it a whole bucksky. I especially don't watch the news. You know, like, just the government is just not for the people. You know what I'm saying? Honestly. And I feel like all these people be dirty. I feel like, you know, bro, I just feel like everybody dirty. You know, I'm just like finding a clean person, finding a person that's actually genuine, bro. We live in a dark and demonic world. You know, this world is way more evil than good, bro. You know, and that's just point blank, period. You know, so finding good in this world, bro, actually really is rare. Like, really, y'all. You know, like half of the people that I came across, bro, is that's why I'm so closed in, is weird. You know what I mean? Like, meeting good people, sincere and genuine people, bro, that's rare to find. I'm keeping it a busky with you, you feel me? So, just like with the CIA, I heard a lot of stuff about the CIA, but just because of things I hear, you know, that don't mean it's true. I don't really go off rumors. I don't really speak on things I know nothing about. But I know for sure the government is dirty. You know what I mean? Honestly, I just know for sure. Like, how I know the government dirty. It's just like, let's just keep it real. It's like, you know, yeah. When it comes to our money, right? The government don't freaking take care of the people, bro. We take care of the people. That's dirty to me. You know what I'm saying? Is that not dirty to you? Why is the government that was made for the people not taking care of the people? Why is it still homeless? That's dirty as heck to me, right? You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you got people in the freaking government that's not paying taxes. You know what I mean? Not paying it just because they don't have to. You feel me? The most powerful people in the world is the people that you do not see, my brother and my sister. You know what I'm saying? I say that all the time. You feel me? So that right there, off the rip, is the dirtiest thing you can do. You was built because the government been around since the freaking Old Testament days. I'm talking about y'all. Government been around since forever, thousands of years. You know, God created the government. The government's in the Bible. God created the government, bro, to help people. You know what I'm saying? But they're doing everything other than that. You got billions of dollars to send to freaking Ukraine. You got billions of dollars to send to wars, but you can't billions of dollars to take care of the people. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me, honestly. You know, I feel like I just don't feel like they're doing right with our money, bro. You know what I mean? I'm gonna call it how I see it. You know, so that's dirty to me in general. You know what I mean? So one thing I ain't gonna do is speak on something I don't know about. I don't know all the other dirty things, you know. But one thing I can say, once a dirty person, always a dirty person. That's not true. You know what I mean? That's not true. You know, people change, but shoot, not them people.
April 5th, 2010. A classified Apache.
They too deep in the evilness. They too deep in the darkness.
U.S. soldiers gunned down 12 civilians in Baghdad, including 2 Reuters journalists they mistook for insurgents.
Oh yeah, look at those dead bastards.
The pilot laughs. This footage should have stayed buried in Pentagon servers forever. Instead, 5 million people watch it in 24 hours. In Langley,
so you killed
CIA Director Leon Panetta called
innocent
an emergency meeting. Every intelligence agency in America is hunting one man. But here's what terrified them. This video was nothing. The hacker had 750,000 classified files ready to publish. He'd already broken into NASA, the Pentagon, and Los Alamos Nuclear Laboratory as a teenager. And when the CIA came for him, he'd steal their entire hacking arsenal and publish it. For the next 14 years, he'd humiliate the world's most powerful intelligence apparatus from a single room. Who was this man? And how do you kill someone the world is watching? September 1991, Australian federal police smashed through the door of a suburban Melbourne house. Inside, 20-year-old Julian Assange sits frozen at his Commodore Amiga, connected via modem to the...
And this is another thing I gotta say. Why does everything happen in September? Like, I'm telling you, all the true crime that I react to, not all, but most of the true crime that I react to, most of the true stories I react to, bruh, guess the month that it happens in. September, bro. I don't know what it is about September, bro, but bro, stuff just goes down in September, bro.
Canadian
telecommunication
system Nortel.
What is it about September?
The police have been tracking him for 2 years under Operation Weather. He's hacked systems belonging to NASA, the Pentagon's Defense Network, Los Alamos National Laboratory, and Motorola. Under the handle Mendax, he's become the most sophisticated hacker in the Southern Hemisphere. The judge reads 31 charges.
31.
Assange pleads guilty to 25. The maximum sentence is 10 years per charge. But Judge Leslie Ross sees something unusual. This hacker never stole money, never sold secrets, never damaged systems. He only looked. On December 5th, 1996, Ross delivers his verdict. No prison time, just a $2,100 fine. There is just no evidence that there was anything other than sort of intelligent inquisitiveness, the judge says. Assange walks free with a criminal record and a dangerous new understanding. Governments classify documents not to protect citizens, but to protect themselves from citizens.
Exactly.
He vanishes into the cypherpunk movement, a loose network of 1,400 programmers building encryption tools to protect privacy from government surveillance. By 1997, Assange runs one of the first public-facing websites about cryptography. He co-authors Underground, a book about hacker culture that becomes required reading in computer security courses. He develops Rubberhose, encryption software that hides data so thoroughly that authorities can't even prove it exists. The Australian government tries to ban it under weapons regulations. Assange realizes he's building something bigger than code. He's building weapons for an information war. October 4th, 2006. Assange registers WikiLeaks.org through a proxy in Sweden. The site's first design document outlines an audacious goal: create an uncensorable Wikipedia for leaked documents, combining cryptographic protection with legal havens to publish secrets no government can suppress. Within weeks, he's assembled a shadow board of advisors, including Pentagon Papers leaker Daniel Ellsberg and cryptographer John Gilmore. If you liked this deep dive into how one hacker changed history, hit subscribe. In December 2006, WikiLeaks publishes its first document, a Somali government assassination order. By August 2007, they've exposed a Kenyan government hit list that names 500 targets for extrajudicial killing. The leak wins Assange the 2008 Economist Index on Censorship Award. In 2008, Swiss bank Julius Baer gets a U.S. court order shutting down WikiLeaks for publishing evidence of tax evasion in Cayman Islands. The site reappears on 20 mirror servers within hours, and the bank withdraws its lawsuit. Assange has proven his system works, but he needs something bigger, something that will force the world to pay attention. He needs a source inside the American war machine.
I mean, it's like what he's doing is not wrong. You know, like, it's one thing that the government be trying to make us citizens do is look at them like they're the bad guys. Like, he's not doing nothing wrong. He's basically just exposing your dark secrets. You know what I mean? Like the wrongs that you're doing, the sins that you're doing. You know, he's basically showing everybody the truth. You know what I mean? So y'all, you know, how the world, how the U.S., how the America, you know what I'm saying, how America is, you know, they try to, you know, make right look wrong and wrong look right. You know what I'm saying? So don't be brainwashed into thinking he's doing something bad. I mean, hacking into, you know, freaking companies and doing that, you know, things, doing them type of things, bro, that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Just doing things, stealing, you know, not saying hacking is good. I'm just saying hacking for good reasons is actually a thing for hacking for good reasons too. And I feel like it's a good reason. You know what I mean? Like, you know, everything that you do in the dark shall come to light. No, I really believe in that quote. You know what I'm saying? So like if you're doing bad things, you know, if you're doing a lot of dark things, hurting a lot of people, you know, putting a lot of people's lives at risk, why not expose it? Why not tell the people the truth? You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. You know, so, you know, he's not the bad guy. CIA, they're the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? But they try to make it seem like he's the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Just keeping it a bucksy with you.
Who will risk everything to expose the truth about Iraq and Afghanistan?
And that's another thing what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? Another thing I was saying about the military. You know, military folks is so brainwashed. You know what I mean? You can't talk to military people. You know what I'm saying? They're so brainwashed. They've been so brainwashed by the government, thinking they're actually fighting for freedom. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I really think that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying that's not part of the reason why you're fighting. You know what I mean? But one thing about America, America plays the hero when you're really the villain. Well, how many countries did America invade? All you going off is an order? Just being real, you don't know nothing as a soldier. If you were a Marine, if you were whatever you were, you know what I'm saying? Just be honest with yourself. Did you know what the heck? Do you know who the heck you were killing? Do you know him personally? Or were you just going off an order? You were just going off an order. How would you think somebody would react if you're invading a country, bro, with guns? I'm not saying like, I'm not saying that, you know, they're not fighting for freedom as well. I'm not saying that the military hasn't, you know, done some good. Of course. You know what I mean? I feel like every military has done some good, but I feel like United States Army does more bad than good. You know what I mean? I'm not saying everything you do is bad. I'm not saying everything you do doesn't matter. No, but I feel like, you know, war is not, I feel like freedom is not something that people, you know, I feel like it's not the number one thing why militaries are fighting. You know what I'm saying? Fighting. No, for me, I feel like it's more about money. I feel like it's more about oil. I feel like it's more about them such things. You know what I mean? Than freedom. That's just me, honest. I feel like it's more about greed than freedom. You know what I mean? And they're using y'all soldiers to do the dirty work for them. Just think about it. You're fighting another man's war. Every single military soldier we can go from Russia, we can go from Ukraine, we can go from the United States of America. All y'all have one thing in common, and what is that? Y'all are being used to fight one man's war. You don't even know why you're fighting. I want to serve my country. You want to serve a country that only give you one day? They give LGBTQ a whole month. They only give you one day. That's the country you want to serve. That's the country you want to serve. How many homeless veterans do we have in this freaking United States of America? That's the country you want to serve? Yeah, fight for me and I don't take care of you when you get out. Why is there any homeless veterans, bro, on the street? That's what they think of you? I would never fight for this freaking country. You know what I mean? One thing I'm not going to do is sell my soul to the government. I feel like a lot of y'all sold y'all souls to the government, bro. You know what I mean? You're going off of order. You think you're fighting for your country, but in reality, you're not. I'm fighting for your country, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're killing people. You're murdering people. You think every person you murder is a bad guy? Just think about it, bro. You think every single person that you murdered is a bad guy? How you know they don't look at you like you're the bad guy? So that's all I'm saying. When you're in the military, just have an open mind, bro. How you know Russia, North Korea, how you know that these cats do not look at you like you're the bad guy? You think the United States, you think y'all the good guys? You think, oh yeah, we're the good guys. They're going to look at us, you know, they're the bad guy. You know, how you know they don't think you're the bad guys? Of course, there's some bad guys out there. There's some guys that needs to get dealt with. Of course, I'm not saying that. Telling me every single guy that you've been ordered to kill has been bad. Just being real, just having open thoughts.
And what happens?
I would never go in the military, ever. They're talking about drafting. Who's going to draft who? I'd rather sit in jail than fight for a country. First of all, that I'm not accepted in. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say I'm not accepted in because I feel accepted. I'm not going to run with that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you got the racism and all that. But I don't feel like racism really exists. I mean, I feel like it does, but it doesn't. I ain't never experienced racism. You know what I mean? So just because I ain't never experienced that, I don't mean it doesn't exist. You know, I'm not going to say that. But I do feel accepted in this country. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't feel like I don't have any opportunity that the next man have. You feel me? So I'm not finna run with that victim mentality. So I had to go ahead and just reconstruct my sentence and what I said. So I do feel accepted in this country. I'm just This will never fight. I'm not finna kill nobody in Japan, wherever, North Korea. He hasn't done nothing to me. No, he hasn't tried to kill me. He hasn't tried to harm me. He hasn't tried to harm my family. So I don't see the use of killing a man. It's just my belief. I'm saying I'm not finna kill a man that has not done anything to me. I'm not finna kill a man just off an order. You know what I mean? That's just me, personally. So you can go in the military and you can do that. You know what I mean? But I'm not finna kill a man off an order. Sorry, I never met this man that I ever killed. I don't even know his name. I'm getting the order to kill him. I'm not. Maybe he's an enemy of you, but he's not an enemy of me. It's a difference. You know what I mean? It's a difference between being an enemy of them and being an enemy of me. No, I don't have a problem. I ain't got a problem with the China folks. I don't know why they're saying this are rivals. These are enemies. How's Chinese people my enemies? They ain't never done nothing to me. North Korean folks ain't never done nothing to me. Russian folks ain't never done nothing. Why would I not like them folk? What they do to me?
Most secretive military in
history have an open mind.
Discovers its entire playbook has been stolen.
But military, you can't talk to military people, bro. They brainwashed.
Bradley Manning, a 22-year-old Army intelligence
they brainwashed thinking they doing something good, man. Doing something good, but doing bad too.
An encrypted chat with someone called
just know that
Frank, Julian Assange's alias. Manning has already sent WikiLeaks 251,287 diplomatic cables burned onto a CD labeled
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. The analyst downloaded them from SIP, the Pentagon's classified network, while lip-syncing to song lyrics at their workstation. No one noticed because everyone brought music to cope with 14-hour shifts analyzing combat footage.
14-hour shifts.
On July 25th, 2010,
that's insane.
WikiLeaks publishes 91,000 documents.
I barely could make 8.
The Afghan War Diary. Page 1 alone reveals Task Force 373, a black ops kill squad targeting a list of 2,000 people without trial. Page 47.
So you telling me that all 2,000 of those people were bad people?
Coalition forces killing 47 civilians at a wedding.
Killed 47 civilians at a wedding. Oh, see this? These people killed 47 civilians at a wedding. So you telling me every single civilian that you killed was bad? Come on.
Page 2854 exposes Pakistani intelligence actively funding the Taliban while taking billions in U.S. aid. The Pentagon claims the leaks endanger informants. Assange points out he offered to redact names if the Defense Department identified them, but they refused. 3 months later, Secretary of Defense Robert Gates admits in a private memo, the review to date has not revealed any sensitive intelligence sources and methods compromised. October 22, 2010, WikiLeaks releases 391,832 Iraq war logs. One document describes U.S. forces discovering detainees with drill holes in their legs at an Iraqi government facility, then being ordered to hand the victims back to their torturers. The logs record 66,081 civilian deaths, 15,000 more than the Pentagon's public count. Each entry includes grid coordinates, unit identification, and casualty figures. The U.S. military's own documentation contradicts 6 years of official statements. On November 28, 2010, State Department cables begin flooding newspaper front pages. One reveals German ministers provided intelligence to the U.S. while publicly opposing the Iraq War. Another shows France's President Sarkozy begging America to keep French opposition to the war secret from French voters. Another one catches Saudi King Abdullah demanding the U.S. cut off the head of the snake by bombing Iran. Hillary Clinton orders diplomats to steal DNA samples and iris scans from UN officials in violation of international law.
It's right, though.
The retaliation begins in hours.
It's about freedom? Have anything that you heard, is that about freedom? Ain't heard nothing about freedom yet. All I'm hearing right now is people doing dirty. All I hear right now is some dirty mother effers. That's all I hear. This ain't got nothing to do about freedom. All I just hear is about people being dirty. Sorry. I don't think you're not finna make me feel like, oh yeah, all the military is fighting over it's freedom. Sorry. Sorry, I don't feel like that's the number one thing. Sorry. Sorry. Just keeping it real. Like, I'm just keeping it real. Like, the last time somebody invaded US, bro, was Pearl Harbor. know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they can't invade, but I'm like, just, you know, think about it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's really trying to invade the United States, bro. You already know it's gonna be a nuclear war. Like, think about it, bro. Just think about it though, right quick. You really think that somebody can really, like, in Pearl Harbor, bro? That's like, what was that? That's in Hawaii, right? That's one state in the freaking U.S., right? State, whatever, bro. Y'all get what I'm saying? But bro, all I'm saying is though, gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, how I think about it, I'm like, bro, it's 50 states in the United States. You telling me, like, it's over like, not a billion. Say it's a lot of people though in the United States. Like, some millions. It's millions, millions, millions. You know what I mean? Telling me that I'm just thinking like this is what I think. You telling me that a one country's military, bro, unless they form together, like we don't have allies either, like the United States don't have allies either. You telling me that they can just take over the whole United States? Like, just think about it. Like, you telling me they could take, without it being a nuclear war? Without people freaking, like, the whole freaking world dying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I just do not think that people be trying to invade the United States. You know what I mean? I just don't think that. You feel me? It's all about staying at the top, I feel like. I feel like it's all about staying at the top. Power, you know what I mean? Staying at the top. But I don't feel like, you know, I mean, like, invading, like, I don't feel like, you feel me, like, I don't know, nuclear war. That's what it's going to result to, a nuclear war. You think you're going to just come here and just invade the United States? You think you're going to just come here and just invade and take over the United States? It's going to be a nuclear war, bro. People going to die, like, millions. Like, you think the other country trying to, like risk that? Nuclear war being, you know what I'm saying? All they got to do is press a freaking button. It's a nuclear war. The president has it at his fingertips. You know, the lives of people. Just keeping it real, but you just got to have an open mind with this. 50 freaking states. How big the United States is. I do not think nobody can invade. I just don't think you can take over the United States. Because, yeah, they have allies, but so do we. It's going to be a freaking nuclear war. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's more about staying on top than, I feel like it's more about greed. Sorry. I feel like it's just more about greed and just plain demonic. You know what I'm saying? Forget the greed. Forget the freedom. You got people that just want to do bad just to do bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got people that just demonic. Put it like that. You know what I'm saying?
PayPal freezes WikiLeaks account, cutting off 50% of its funding. Visa and MasterCard ban all transactions, later ruled illegal by Iceland's Supreme Court. Amazon deletes WikiLeaks from its servers. Senator Joe Lieberman calls for prosecuting the New York Times for publishing the cables. Mike Huckabee demands Manning's execution on television. Vice President and later President, Biden labels Assange a high-tech terrorist on Meet the Press. Finally, on December 7th, 2010, Interpol issues a red notice for Assange on Swedish sexual assault allegations, charges that Swedish prosecutors had dropped 3 months earlier, then mysteriously reinstated the day after Cablegate began. Assange turns himself in to British police. Judge Howard Riddle grants bail at £240,000. The Swedish prosecutor appeals and Assange spends 10 days in solitary confinement at Wandsworth Prison, while celebrities including Michael Moore and Bianca Jagger raise his bail. On December 16th, he emerges wearing an electronic ankle monitor that transmits his location to police every 60 seconds. How does a publisher fight extradition while the world's most powerful government builds an espionage case against him? And why would Ecuador, a country smaller than Nevada, pick a fight with the United States? June 19th, 2012. Assange walks into Ecuador's embassy at 3 Hans Crescent, Knightsbridge, a first-floor flat behind Harrods department store. Scotland Yard has followed him since he left his lawyer's office. They watch him enter but can't follow. The 1961 Vienna Convention makes the embassy Ecuadorian soil. Outside, officers begin a vigil that will cost British taxpayers £12.6 million over 3 years. Inside, President Rafael Correa grants Assange political asylum, declaring him a victim of political persecution. The embassy measures 2,153 square feet, smaller than a tennis court. Assange's bedroom is a converted women's bathroom with a treadmill, a sun lamp to prevent rickets, and a white noise machine to mask conversations from laser microphones aimed at the windows. He adopts a kitten named James, who wears striped ties for Twitter photos. The Ecuadorian staff initially embraced their famous guest. Cultural attaché Fidel Narvaez teaches him Spanish. They play soccer in the hallway until neighbors complain. October 2016, WikiLeaks publishes 50,000 emails from Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta. The messages reveal Clinton received debate questions in advance from CNN contributor Donna Brazil, transcripts of Wall Street speeches she refused to release publicly, and internal polls showing Bernie Sanders posed a bigger threat than acknowledged. The Democratic National Committee accuses Russia of orchestrating the hack, and U.S. intelligence agencies confirm Russian military intelligence provided the emails to WikiLeaks. Assange denies knowing his source's identity. WikiLeaks' submission system prevents even him from identifying leakers. The publications split Assange's support base. Glenn Greenwald and Edward Snowden publicly distanced themselves. The Guardian, his former partner, publishes an editorial calling him a useful idiot. Inside the embassy, relationships deteriorate. Assange accuses staff of spying. They complain he skateboarded at 3 a.m., didn't clean his bathroom, and let James defecate on embassy carpets. In October 2016, Ecuador cuts his internet after the Podesta leaks. Pamela Anderson visits monthly, bringing vegan meals and messages from the outside world. March 2018. Ecuador's new president, Lenin Moreno, calls Assange an inherited problem and a spoiled brat. The embassy installs signal jammers, forbids visitors, and threatens eviction if Assange makes political statements. Security footage later reveals UC Global, a Spanish security firm, recorded Assange's privileged attorney conversations and provided the footage to the CIA. Former employees testify the agency discussed kidnapping or poisoning Assange. One plan involved staging a car accident during a medical transfer.
Hey, look at this, bro.
Another suggested exploiting his love of cats by poisoning embassy cats' food. December 2018.
It's crazy.
The Guardian publishes a story claiming Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort secretly visited Assange 3 times. No visitor logs, photos, or witnesses support the claim. The story collapses within days, but the damage is done. Assange is now tied to Russiagate in the public imagination. Ecuador's government seizes on the controversy. Foreign Minister Jose Valencia flies to London with an ultimatum. Behind closed doors, U.S. prosecutors have prepared an indictment under seal since 2011. They're waiting for one thing: Assange to step outside. What classified program will finally give them justification to demand his head? And who inside the CIA will leak their own agency's darkest secrets? March 7th, 2017. WikiLeaks publishes the infamous Vault 7. 8,761 documents from the CIA's cyberweapons arsenal. Page 1 describes Weeping Angel, malware that turns Samsung smart TVs into listening devices while displaying a fake off screen. Page 1043 details how to hack WhatsApp, Signal, and Telegram before encryption activates. Page 5227 reveals Umbridge, a program to steal Russian malware and use it in CIA operations, leaving false digital fingerprints to frame Moscow. The CIA's engineering development group has been gutted. Someone stole the agency's entire hacking toolkit. Exploits affecting Apple iOS, Google Android, Microsoft Windows, and even vehicle control systems in cars and trucks. The breach includes source code, developer notes, and internal memos discussing which American companies secretly cooperate with surveillance.
Look how much they have access to, bro. You know what I'm saying? Look how much the CIA has access to. This junk is ridiculous. This junk is ridiculous. I would say for me, I don't be trying to, I already know, man. Look, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to the CIA, man, you know what I'm saying? Trying to go against the CIA, bro, that's kind of like a death wish. You know what I mean? These folks can make up anything. They got the judges in their pockets, bro. They CIA, bro. Come on, bro. That's like the top of the intelligence. Like, what the freak? I mean, to go against the CIA, bro, you must be the dumbest, stupidest person in the world. No, especially, like, for me, I don't want them type of problems. I don't really care. At the end of the day, man, you know, let God have his justice with him. Let God, you know, be the judge. You know what I mean? I don't care that much to you know what I mean, hack their system and expose their documents and expose what I don't care that much. I don't want them problems in my life. I don't want to go off the grid. You know what I mean? Got to change my identity, you know, worried about CIA on my heels. You know what I mean? I'm good with my freaking problem-free life. You know what I'm saying? I don't care that much about exposing their dark secrets. I just know some dark secrets, though.
One leaked document shows the CIA hoarded vulnerabilities in US software instead of alerting manufacturers, leaving millions of Americans exposed to foreign hackers who might discover the same flaws. On April 13th,
they don't care about Americans. They don't care about us.
CIA director.
The only people they care about is them, bro. And they don't care about, like, that's why we trying to tell people. It's like the white, black people, Chinese, whatever. Do you understand the people that is in higher positions doesn't care about none of you? They don't care if you're white, black, green, purple. The only people that they care about is the people that is inside their circle. They don't care about you. They just want to use you. They look down on you. You know what I'm saying? They think they better than everybody. In reality, they're freaking not. You know what I'm saying? But they think they're just better than everybody. You know what I mean? Like, they don't care about you. Like, you going against each other, that's exactly what they want. Everybody going against each other, bro. They like the division. Being united is what they're scared of. They're freaking scared of united. They're scared of people being united with it. Hate that junk. You know what I mean? It was like, you really think the government cares about crime stopping? You know what I mean? They want crime to, you think they care about war stopping? It's the two things that they make most of their money off of, war and crime. We know this. Feel me? Yeah, they want the division. They want the violence. They want the crime. They want the war. That's how they make most of their money. They make billions of dollars of war and crime. You know what I mean? Like, come on, wake up, people. Wake up. They want the division. You know, who you think made up white, black, and Asian and China? Who you think made up that? You know what I mean? Who you think made up that, bro? To divide. White community, black community. Come on, bro. This was meant to divide, bro. System. It was designed this way.
Mike Pompeo delivers his first public.
It's like y'all freaking rats in a freaking, y'all mouses in a freaking mousetrap. You know what I mean? It's like you just don't understand. Just don't. A lot of people that's walking around this dang world, bro, that's just closed-minded, bro. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of smart people in the world. It's really not. It's, you know, a lot of people book smart, you know what I'm saying? But we're talking about life smart. There's a difference between being book smart and life smart. You could be smart as heck when it comes to the books, but dumb as heck when it comes to life. There's a lot of people out there like that. No, them book smarts can only get you so far. You know what I mean? You gotta be smart when it comes to life. You know, spirituality when it comes to life, man. Life. You feel me? Just keeping it real, man. Probably smart in the books, but you're dumb when it comes to life.
WikiLeaks walks like a hostile intelligence service and
got all the A's in school. Dumb as a rock when it comes to life.
Strategic and international studies.
So unaware, so closed-minded.
Is panic. The CIA believes Vault 7 came from an insider, possibly a contractor in the agency's Center for Cyber Intelligence. They're investigating 200 suspects. Pompeo brands WikiLeaks a non-state hostile intelligence service, creating a new legal category that strips it of First Amendment protections. Internal CIA documents obtained by Yahoo News reveal the agency's 8th floor went batshit crazy. Officers draw up plans to break into the Ecuador embassy through a window. Another proposal involves crashing a car into Assange's vehicle if he leaves for medical treatment.
And they really trying to get him out that building?
The station in London increases surveillance. They map every exit, track embassy staff schedules, and maintain 24/7 observation posts in neighboring buildings. Senior officials request sketches, CIA terminology for assassination plans. We were going to do everything possible to take him out, recalls an officer. The Justice Department...
They're really trying to take this man out, bro, because this man exposing their dark secrets. Man ain't doing nothing wrong. This man's just exposing y'all dark secrets. Things that y'all just don't want the people to find out about what y'all doing in the dark. He's exposing that, but they got to assassinate him. You know what I'm saying? He ain't breaking no laws for real. Just because the law don't make it right, though. You know what I'm saying? Even though he ain't breaking no law with hacking and stuff. Okay, hacking. Just because the law, they don't make it right, though. You know, the law is also made for lawbreakers. You know what I mean? So that's all I want to tell. Just because a man written it down, say, oh yeah, this is, you know, of course, don't murder and don't steal and stuff like that. You know, when it comes to laws, you got a lot of good laws, but got a lot of laws that BS.
It's its case. Prosecutors abandoned the computer hacking charge from 2010 as too weak. Instead, they build an Espionage Act case around the Manning leaks, arguing Assange actively solicited classified information. It's the first time the 1917 law targets a publisher rather than a government employee. Press freedom groups warn this precedent threatens every journalist who publishes classified material. WikiLeaks continues attacking the intelligence community. They publish CIA assessments of foreign elections, NSA interception capabilities, and 16,000 procurement documents showing which private companies sell surveillance equipment to agencies. Each publication feels like a taunt. Ecuador's government reaches a breaking point. President Moreno needs a $4.2 billion IMF loan that the Trump administration can block. U.S. officials make their position clear. They want Assange. What excuse will Ecuador use to revoke his asylum? And how will London police handle arresting a man who's become a symbol to millions? Finally, on April 10, 2019, Ambassador Jaime Marchán enters the embassy conference room where Assange is reading. The asylum is over, Marchán announces. Assange doesn't move. He suspected this moment was coming since Ecuador's government accused him of hacking their computer systems, charges his lawyers call fabricated. At 10 p.m., the ambassador formally notifies Assange his protection ends at dawn. Assange demands to speak with his lawyers, but Ecuador refuses. He barricades himself in his room with a fire extinguisher. The day after, 7 Metropolitan Police officers enter the embassy. Assange has wedged himself in his bathroom doorway. "This is unlawful," he shouts, as officers pry his fingers from the doorframe. They carry him horizontally down the stairs. Outside, he clutches Gore Vidal's History of the National Security State, while screaming, "UK must resist. You can resist. Resist this attempt by the Trump administration." A police van door slams. 7 years of asylum end in 4 minutes. At Westminster Magistrates Court, District Judge Michael Snow finds Assange guilty of breaching bail. "You are a narcissist who cannot get beyond your own selfish interests," Snow declares. The sentence is 50 weeks in HMP Belmarsh, Britain's Guantanamo Bay. Hours later, the U.S. unseals its indictment. 17 counts under the Espionage Act, 1 count of conspiracy to commit computer intrusion, with a maximum sentence of 175 years. The charges center on 2010's publications, carefully avoiding Vault 7 to prevent the CIA's methods from being discussed in open court. Belmarsh Prison places Assange in Unit B, alongside terrorists and serial killers. He spends 23 hours daily in a 3x2 meter cell. His weight drops to 52 kilograms. Prison doctors diagnose severe depression and autism spectrum disorder. On May 1st, 2019, he appears via video link for a U.S. extradition hearing. He struggles to state his own name. UN Special Rapporteur Niels Melzer visits and diagnoses psychological torture. 60 doctors sign a letter warning Assange may die in custody. January 4th, 2021. District Judge Vanessa Bereitzer blocks extradition, not on press freedom grounds, but because Assange would likely commit suicide in American custody. She cites the case of Chelsea Manning, who attempted suicide twice in U.S. detention. The Biden administration appeals, offering diplomatic assurances. Assange won't face solitary confinement or be sent to ADX Florence Supermax. On December 10th, 2021, the High Court reverses Bereitzer's decision. 1 year later, on June 17, 2022, Home Secretary Priti Patel signs the extradition order. Assange appeals to the High Court, then the Supreme Court, then the European Court of Human Rights, but each appeal fails. His lawyers argue extradition violates Article 10 of the European Convention, freedom of expression. The courts rule national security trumps press freedom. Meanwhile, major newspapers that publish the same cables face no charges. March 20th, 2024. After 1,901 days in Belmarsh, Assange enters final appeal hearings. His wife, Stella, They married in prison in 2022, holds their 2 sons' hands outside court. Presidents of Brazil, Mexico, and Colombia call for his release. Tucker Carlson interviews Vladimir Putin, who claims Russia played no role in the DNC leaks. The CIA refuses to confirm or deny whether plans to kill Assange existed. 2 months later, in a shocking reversal, the High Court allows Assange to appeal on grounds the U.S. might deny him First Amendment protections as an Australian citizen. And on June 24th, 2024, Assange appears in Saipan, Northern Mariana Islands. He pleads guilty to 1 Espionage Act charge in exchange for time served. After 14 years, Julian Assange boards a private jet to Australia. Free, but forever branded a felon for publishing true information about American wars. The man who exposed military murders, diplomatic deceptions, and intelligence criminality walks away with a criminal record. The officials who ordered torture.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? So basically he went to jail because these folks that run this country, bro, can do that. They have the power to do that. Even though what he's doing in reality isn't wrong. You think God cares about him exposing? Matter of fact, I think God will like him to do that. Man served 14 years, right? Just because he exposed dark, mischievous things that y'all were doing. You know what I'm saying? But it's illegal when it comes to y'all. It's illegal. You know what I mean? Like, man, like, get the freak out of here. He did nothing wrong to me. He did nothing freaking. Just exposing the dark truth.
Conducted illegal surveillance and lied to Congress walk away with pensions. Every major newspaper on Earth published the documents Assange leaked. Only he went to prison. That precedent now hangs over every journalist who receives classified information. The next time someone films a war crime, records illegal surveillance, or documents government corruption, they'll remember what happened to Julian Assange. And they'll have to decide, is the truth worth 175 years? Because that's the price America just put on transparency. The question isn't whether another WikiLeaks will emerge. It's whether anyone will dare to
Boy got time for telling the truth.
One man watched Assange's persecution unfold and still chose to leak the NSA's darkest secrets.
Man, y'all, like, come on, bro. Y'all, America is built off a lie. Like, let's be real. America is built off a lie. America is a lie. You know what I mean? Like, we just being real. Like, all the history when it comes to America, who made who, what invented who, lies. No, like, let's be real. Like, America is built off lies. Not built off truth. So it doesn't even surprise me why a man spent 14 years in solitude telling the freaking truth. Imagine that, y'all. Imagine spending years, you know, in solitude, in jail, because you told the truth. Oh my God. You would think it was right. You know what I mean? Whole time I told you, in America, right get looked at as wrong and wrong get looked at as right.